welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel, whichever one it may be. And if you are new here, please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, do all those wonderful things, and just let me know what you think. We are going to be working on a WIP and Chat today. I'm working on this one. Let's get this in the picture. Come on, you can do it. Oh, this way. Afternoon Tea by Randall Spangler. This is a Diamond Art Club kit, because I have a lot of those kits. And this is the last week of May. So let's see. Let's do a regular WIP and Chat. I'm going to be starting with number 2 here. Oh, it's a nice AB. There we go. All right, I'm working kind of sideways, so I hope that doesn't bother you, but it was the best position for the canvas and the stand that I'm using. I could have used a different stand, I suppose, but I'm trying this one out. I don't know if I love it, but it's similar to one that I had before, and it was kind of on the pricey side, so I want to kind of get some use out of it, but I haven't done too much with it yet. But anyway, we're giving it a try. I mean, it's a full-on camera stand. If it doesn't work out for me, it could work out for my brother, and I can possibly give it to him. So he got himself a new camera, and I was like, I have 2 camera stands. So somewhere in this house, I have another camera stand, but it doesn't have the phone attachment. This one has the phone attachment. The other one is an old school camera stand for an older camera. And by older camera, I mean a camera that still uses film, not digital. One that still uses film. Myself a sip of coffee here, and I'm feeling a little bit far away from my canvas. I'm just gonna move some things around so I can move myself closer without moving the canvas. All right, it is, gosh, it's going on 12 already. It's crazy. And I am contemplating what to do. So let's get into this WIP and Chat. I made a decision. Last week, my husband's car was in the shop, and we ended up doing the repairs all week, and pretty much all week. And I ended up just calling out from my job for the entire week. And I got so much done, and I felt so good about everything that I got done. But obviously, I can't not work. Like, I need a job. I need a source of income. So I filled out some paperwork, and I did a drug test for a job already. It's a part-time job, and if I get it, or, you know, like if it works out, I'm pretty sure I already got it. I did the drug test. I mean, that's pretty much saying that you've already got the job. Anyway, how it would work, I would end up working just on the weekends, but the amount of money that I would make it's not like it would be cut in half. Like, I'd only be earning like maybe $100 less per week than what I was in my regular job, which I quit, by the way. I left it. I figured after calling out for an entire week and, you know, not wanting to ever go, like, I really struggled with going. My anxiety was through the roof on going. Even though, like, the job wasn't bad, I still struggled with it. And quite honestly, for the past 5 or 6 months, I hadn't even been doing what I was hired to do. Like, I hadn't been doing the job that I was brought in to work. So, like, it just kind of seemed right for me to just kind of step away from that one and look for other jobs, look for other options. I feel like I'm struggling to breathe this morning. So if I seem kind of like panty or something, like panting, like I'm panting, It's because I feel like I'm struggling to breathe. I didn't do anything before this, so maybe just take a breath. Maybe it's just my anxiety kicking in because I'm doing a video, and it's like, oh, you're doing a video. It's just your stress and anxiety, so let's just, right? Like, take deep breaths, relax. Okay, that feels better. All right, so, yes, I still get anxiety when I'm doing videos, and I notice myself, the more anxious I am, the faster I tend to talk. So let's pull this back a little, take a couple deep breaths, and then we'll move on. It's okay to have to do things like that in life, to have to stop and take a moment and resettle yourself. Feel free to resettle. Feel free to pull back and take a deep breath. Don't worry, we'll get on with the story. Just need a little moment, you know, just a moment. Okay. I think I am feeling better. Maybe I'm nervous about the whole leaving the job aspect. So yes, I quit my job. I decided not to go back. And not once have I felt like I made the wrong decision as far as quitting the job. Was it a bad job? No. Could I do the job? Yes. It wasn't the job I was hired for, but I could do the job. And it's not so bad. I did call out a lot. I had used up all my points, so if I went back, I wasn't even sure if I was going to stay or not, or if I was going to be let go from using up all my points. But anyway, I went and did the drug test for another job, a job that I know I will love and enjoy, but it is only part-time, and it's only on the weekends, which would give me the ability to continue to do everything that I need to do in the house. So I would be able to continue doing YouTube stuff. I would be able to continue working on the small shop, which, having spent an entire week just focusing on these areas, on my social media, on the small shop, I've noticed a difference, you know, because I had the ability to focus on it, the ability to spend the time with it. I do see that difference I'm almost like upside down now for you, so I'm so sorry. I could have oh well, you know what, it's fine. It's fine, right? You still see my hands coming from the top of the screen instead of the bottom of the screen. I hope it's okay. Anyway, I see the difference in being able to focus on doing my YouTube stuff and doing the TikTok stuff and doing the small shop, working on printing items and stuff. You know, like I've been basically collaborating with Wendy because we've been emailing back and forth talking about different things. She's giving me ideas and suggestions, and you know, like I'm able to work with her for her event that she's hosting in September, which, oh, by the way, I'm also hosting an event in September. I completely forgot about it until I was watching one of Crafty Chef's videos, and yeah, I'm hosting the Remembrance and Memorial event in September, so we'll see how that goes. But if you're, you know, thinking about entering that event and you're perchance watching this video, I couldn't think of it is happen, and you happen to watch this video, it's gonna be a very laid back event, I feel like. I say that now, but we still have a couple of months before September, so you know, it could change. I did sign up to do an event for next year. I signed up to do On the Farm in June. June is my birth month, so I kind of like to do events for that month. Hold on, I'm getting another color. Okay, there we go. Because I feel that connection with the month, because it is my birth month, you know, so you feel connection. So, you know, I do kind of like to, this one is loose. Oh. Let's see if we can fix that. That just popped right out. Did you see that? Do I have, what do I have here? Oh, there's like a single placer right there. I need to clean out this cup holder because I have filled it up with diamond painting tools and this weird little unit my mom sent me that's supposed to be a hand warmer, but it like hasn't ever done anything for me, so I don't know how it's supposed to work, but all right, do I have anything in here? No. I do have the alien putty that I'm using for this kit. So we have Holly that way. And we'll see if we can fix this real quick. Because that just like fell right out. I haven't had that issue with this pen. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this putty. And there we go. That might be too much. Come on. I have never done this with alien putty. I usually use Randa's Crafty putty for this, and it works really good. I feel like this is gonna squish some of this putty out, but that's fine. All right, let's try it. Oh, beautiful. Now I can just go and just kind of scoop what came out. And I can feel, yeah, that's gonna work great. Okay. Quick fix for anyone out there who has that problem with their diamond painting pens. I know I've seen people do tape and stuff, but it's like, I have to get up, go find the tape, wherever it is, put it on, try to get it so that it's just right on there to not be too cumbersome and annoying. Whereas I always have some form of putty already hanging out here, and just a little bit makes a huge difference in keeping these on. So there's a little quick tip for everybody out there who is diamond painting. Just a little bit of putty and it makes a huge difference. Oh, what a difference. Random thing. But anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, yes. So, yes, I'm hosting an event in September. I will do a video talking more about that coming up. And it is the Remembrance and Memorial because of September 11th. So that's why I chose it. Also, when I chose my event, at the time, other people were putting in for their event. I know I'm getting off track with the whole job thing. Don't worry, we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. So that is number 6. That's good. Number 6. All right. So, yes, when I was choosing my event, I chose a month, and then I chose Remembrance and Memorial because of September 11th, but also because every other event that was happening at that point had some kind of a theme to go along with the month. So it seemed kind of like themey. So I was like, well, I'll stick with the theme and I'll do remembrance and memorial, which is good. It's a good thing. And, you know, if you want to participate in the event and you're starting to think about it and look for canvases and information on what you would for the event, I don't care what you work on, as long as it has some sort of meaning to you as far as remembrance or memorial. So you could work on one that is very much the classic firefighter's boot with the you know, firefighter's helmet and, you know, stuff like that. Or it could just be a picture of a beloved pet that you have. It could be a picture of just flowers, just, and you know, like a garden with flowers, or just flowers, or anything that has some sort of semblance or meaning to you. It's not, I'm not too fussy on it either. And it does not have to be a new start. You can come along with your WIPs, like mine here, you know, you can come along with that. It could even be that WIP has some sort of feeling for you, and it really doesn't matter to me what the actual image of the picture is, but it would be, but I think what I'm gonna do is ask for stories to what that image means to you, why you chose that image, or that kind of a thing. Or if it's a WIP, why did you stop working on that image and now you're coming back with it, you know, kind of thing. So I think that's what my thought process has been so far as the I know I'm very like zoomed in on this portion here. Like I think it only sees over to the white here, and I don't know how much of this little dragon it sees, but yeah, these cute little dragons. These are from Bee's Crafty Corner. Yes, I do believe that's these. Yes, Bee's Crafty Corner. This one looks a little wet back here. It's not, it's glue for some reason. These have been peeling on me. Like, I haven't had that issue with any of the others I've gotten from her before, so I don't know if it's just whatever these ones are made from, if they're older or something, but they are kind of peeling. Anyway, let's get back into what we were talking about, which is the job situation. So yes, I quit my job. And I had another one already lined up before I made the decision to quit. In fact, my husband and I really discussed before I quit. He's been telling me for a while that he's not happy in his job. And I said, the only thing I ask is that you have something else lined up. You don't have to particularly be working the job yet, but you have something else lined up. Well, he did. So he is working for the same company in a different position. They found him another position, and I think it's going to work out better for him in the long run, and he's going to enjoy it. And with that, I get to come into the company and do the position that I enjoy doing, which is the merchandiser work. I love being a merchandiser. Like, that was honestly my favorite job so far. And I don't know why, because I'm not a social person, but I loved being a merchandiser. And I was so disappointed that Coke wouldn't take me back, but they wouldn't take me back. Oh well. Anyway, we move on. So I'll get that opportunity again if this works out. And, you know, if it's only part-time, but that's okay, because part-time will be better for everything that I'm currently doing in my life. because I was starting to feel really overwhelmed with working it's, basically a 9 to 5. I worked 6 to 2 every day, and I was doing the small shop, and I was doing my YouTube channel, and I was doing TikToks, and I just felt like I never had a break from anything. Okay. And there was a constant grind. Sorry, needed a second there. Okay, and there was a constant grind and a constant struggle, and I just felt like I was working 3 jobs instead of just 1 job and some stuff that I do for fun on the side, to the point where I wasn't even diamond painting. And I love diamond painting, but I felt like when I diamond painted, it just took up all of the leftover time that I had, and I just felt like I wasn't able to do, like, really sit down and enjoy it the way that I would want to enjoy it. So it was taking kind of a back burner, and I wasn't, like, I had all these goals when I first started the year, and they've just gone. They're gone out the window, all of these goals. I mean, that usually happens when you set goals for the new year anyway, but maybe I can get them back. I don't know. This particular diamond painting, I didn't start until 2 weeks into the month because of this, because I was feeling so overwhelmed and so stressed out. And it's like, I didn't even kit this diamond painting up last month, but this is the one that I said I was going to work on last month, and I never did. I ended up doing this little unicorn diamond painting that I picked up at Michael's because it was easy. And, like, I don't know if I'm just trying to, like, justify the life choice that I made. I made the choice. It's, like, it's gonna hurt us a little financially, but I don't think it's gonna be as bad as we were thinking. For one, he's making more than we thought he was gonna be making in his new position, so that's good. And for 2, not much more, but, it's enough. It's enough to cover the, he's still taking a bit of a pay cut, but it's not that bad of a pay cut. Not like what we thought. And I'm still going to be earning roughly the same amount of money as I was earning. So while we will be making a bit less, we'd still have enough for the 2 of us. Not much extra. We'll still be living paycheck to paycheck. But at least we would both be working and earning money. Now here's the side kicker. And I don't know what this is. So at 3 o'clock today, I'm going for an interview with a job that I accidentally applied for. I was just going to look and see what the job was, which I never actually found out what the job is. And I don't know if this is going to be a job that I can do, but I do know that the interview I'm going to is with a hiring agency. So the possibilities of them having another job is there. But I don't know. I know it's manufacturing assistant, but what a manufacturing assistant does, I don't know. I didn't mean to apply to it. It was literally, I went to look to see what the job was, and the application went through. So it's interesting, but I'm gonna go to the interview and I'm going to check it out. Now, out of the 2, obviously, you know which job I would rather do. And there is the possibility of full-time with the job I want. So this is tough. Not saying that, you know, like it's an actual thing, because I haven't spoken to them. But anyway, I'm gonna go to this interview today, and I'm going to see what this is, what it entails. And because pay-wise, it would be more. It would be better for both my husband and I. And it would put us back in a position we were in when we were in Florida, which would be a pretty good place. Which is why we struggle sometimes, because in Florida we were comfortable. Like, we were a solid middle class family in Florida, and now we are lower middle class, I guess, according to the, you know, now, right, and currently we're poor, like, we're lower class, but, you know, like, before we were definitely in the lower middle class, and in Florida we were just the middle class, and you definitely see a difference when, you know, like, you think about stuff like that. And I'm not saying, like, we're gonna, you know, like, financially be like, oh, amazing, I can start buying diamond art clubs every other week again. No, not in this economy, for sure. And, you know, not the way things are going, but it will feel better to have all the bills paid, at least, and be able to put food on the table. You know, that's honestly, having a little extra to be able to repair cars would also be nice. Being able to, because we just had to replace the entire front end on my husband's car, and that cost us $2,300 because they had to rebuild the entire front end of the car. Now, how the damage happened, we don't know. He was in a car accident, but it was basically just a fender bender bump, but that could have caused things to loosen up, which would cause, over time, things would continue to loosen up and start causing damage and problems. So there is that. And the way the damage was, it more seems like he hit a couple curbs, and it's just natural over time wear and tear on the car, because his car has over 100,000 miles on it. Even though our cars are the same age, there is a good 30 to 40,000 mile difference in our cars. Like, my car is still under 100,000, and his is well over 100,000. So he's put a lot more driving into his car than I have into mine. So you can see where wear and tear over time would be a problem with that, with his car, rather than more, you know, more so with mine. But in so saying, his car is always getting repaired. So his car has a problem, it gets repaired. My car, knock on wood, there we go, it's a coffee table right next to me, I knocked on that, has not had any major problems that we had to pay for. So, I don't want that to, you know, go out into the air as karma, and all of a sudden now my car just decides, like, oh yeah, you know, let's kick out a bolt in the left rear shock or strut, and and now I have to have the entire back end of my car repaired. I drive differently than my husband too. He does tend to oversteer a little bit more than I do. I don't know if that makes a difference. Out of the two of us, yes, I am the better driver. I know, it must seem weird, but I am the better driver. I taught him how to drive, so everything he's learned has, for the most part, come from me. And I do notice, you know, like, people will say something when you're driving, oh, well, you're going too fast, or that brake was hard, or something, and you're like, well, yeah, you're right, that brake was hard, and, you know, like, you say that to my husband, or, like, any guy I've ever been around, and it's, like, the end of the world for them, not just, like, oh, okay, maybe I need to, you know, like, calm down on my braking, maybe I need to not, you know, try to not make my passengers car sick. But it's like we're attacking him for some reason. When I try to correct him and say, you know, like, try to be more subtle in your steering, try to slow down a little sooner when you're coming to the stop, trying to just help him out so that if he does have passengers in his car, he's not making them car sick. Because your driving affects people who are driving or in the car with you, if they're in the car with you. Or at least that's, you know, what my mom always told me when she was teaching me to drive. Also, you know, like, your driving affects the people around you. Not saying that his car accident isn't any that could happen to anybody, because apparently what happened was a dog ran out in the road and the two cars in front of him stopped quickly. And he happened to glance at his GPS to see that, yes, this turn he was about to make was the turn he was going to make. He wasn't looking at his phone. He wasn't looking at his GPS. He happened to glance at it in just that moment and end up rear-ending the one in front of him because he happened to just glance at his GPS. Now, you know, everybody's like, oh, your GPS could have, like, voice on it or something. And it's like, yeah, but you still find yourself looking at it or glancing at it to make sure you're aware. Because sometimes your GPS will be like, oh, you know, like, turn left in 0.3 feet. And, you know, like, that 0.3 feet comes up and all of a sudden your car says turn left. And you're like, you just passed the road. But your GPS told you to turn left at the turn. And it's like, ugh. So you have to kind of look down at your GPS in order to see that, yes, this is the turn that I need to make. And so that's all he was doing when he happened to rear end someone. And they had just come off of a stoplight. So they were all still pretty close together because they'd just been stopped at a stoplight. So while he wasn't moving very fast and there was no real damage to either vehicle, I honestly don't even know what they repaired on the other vehicle because they said there was like $7,000 worth of damage. But at the same time, the repair shop, we didn't end up getting his car fixed because we didn't have insurance to cover the fix on his car. We had insurance to cover the repairs on other people's cars, but apparently not on our own. What the heck? What the heck? Insurance is a scam. It's a big scam. That's all I'm gonna say. It's like the hugest scam on the planet. But anyway, because at the bare minimum, shouldn't they cover the cost of repairs on your car too? Like, I get covering the cost of repairs on the other person's car if you're the one at fault, but like, come on. At least have coverage for my car. Like, enough for me to get a minor repair done. Now, the shop, anyway, that we went to, he quoted us the price of how much it would cost to do this repair. I always look up what the actual cost of a repair should be. Like, I always Google search this because it's going to tell you, oh, this is an average for your state of what it was. He quoted us that the repair would cost us, I think he said $15,000 or something like that. It was like way exorbitant for what it was. And he says, and that's not knowing, you know, like what the car looks like and stuff. You know, like we had the frame checked by somebody else. We made sure that the car was good. We didn't know about the whole front end damage. Whether that was from the accident or not, we didn't know about that damage. But anyway, So he had to have the seat belts replaced. The seat belt, sorry, not the seat belts. The seat belt, the passenger side seat belt got stuck in the lock position. And if that happens, then you just have to replace it entirely. We paid $50 for a seat belt from eBay and installed that thing ourselves, following all of the safety manuals and doing everything for it. It wasn't a very hard install. It was actually super easy. You take one out, you put one in. It was so easy. It was not hard. The other thing he needs to have done, which we have not done yet, is to have the airbags replaced. Because the airbags went off. Now, he's had some electrical issues with his car, and a lot of his sensors are starting to fail or not work properly. So we think his airbags went off, not because of how bad he hit the car in front of him, but because the sensor was faulty. And it just, like, any bump would do it, like a bump in the road, or, you know, like you happen to kick the car hard enough and it would cause those airbags to just go off. So we figured that's what happened with the airbags. So they still need to be replaced, but I've already priced them out on eBay, and they cost a couple $100, and they're pretty easy for us to also replace and reset the sensor. But I don't see where this guy was pricing this at. Even online, they were saying that what we needed to have done should have only cost us around maybe $2,000. Like $1,500 to $2,000. And I was like, are car shops taking insurance companies for a ride? Are they saying this is what the repair cost and insurance companies just pay it because... So I'm thinking that that's what happened with that other car. They ended up getting that stuff done there, and what could have been only like a $2,000 to $3,000 repair ended up being like a $7,000 repair, because this car shop, this, you know, like mechanic, always works with insurance companies, and he just takes those insurance companies for a ride, and he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna upcharge you 52% because I can. And it's like, wow, dude. But anyway, yeah, so we ended up doing most of the repairs ourselves. We still have some repairs to do. We don't have to worry about too much here in South Carolina. You can have an older car without an airbag in it. It's fine. In North Carolina, I guess we would have had to worry about it and have had it repaired by now, because you have to get your car inspected every year. But in South Carolina and Florida, you don't need that. And I think it's kind of interesting how I went from like one state where they don't care to another state where they don't care. Because the state cares about as much of things as Florida. It's crazy. I always called Florida the don't care state because, like, it didn't seem like they cared what you did on the roads. Like, you could drive absolutely horrible and it didn't matter from one day to the next. Like, it's, yeah. And I'm a pretty good driver. So I don't have too many issues. I try to always maintain my distance and space and stuff, and make sure I'm always paying attention to the car in front of me and the car behind me. Not so much. I don't care about them. If you're behind me and you hit me, that's on you. I'm doing what I need to do to stay safe for what's going on in front of me. I'm paying attention to the person in front of me. I can't pay attention to the person behind me as well as the person in front of me, or the person to my left, or the person to my right. Because sometimes you have to pay attention to those people too. Especially the ones to your left. I don't know about the right so much, but definitely, but, you know, like, if you're behind me, your job should be to pay attention to me. what you're doing driving and your distance from me. I shouldn't have to pay attention to you. So, you know, you glance back to see what's behind us, and definitely if you have to slam your brakes on, I know I do it. I will look up in the rearview mirror to see, you know, like that car behind me has also managed to stop. But there's nothing I can do about them if they don't. You know, like, it's basically one of those, like, well, here we go. I'm just gonna watch this happen. Because it's not like I can make them stop. I'm not putting my foot on their brake. They have to do that. I put my foot on my brake to keep me from hitting the one in front of me. Now it's up to them to put their foot on their brake to not hit me. That's how I always look at it as far as the person behind me. And try not to worry about them too much. You know, like their driving is on them. My driving is on me. And I will always focus on my driving and what I need to do to keep myself and the other cars around me that I have an effect on safe. So, yeah. Anyway, it's like a whole thing there. But anyway, I don't know what to do about this interview today. Do I take this job as well as the part-time job? Or do I hold out for the part-time job? Because it's gonna be more of what I want. It's part-time, but it's what I want to do. It's where I want to be. My thoughts are to honestly go to this interview today to see what this job is, and then hold out for the part-time job. It might be, who knows, this job today could be more in the direction of what I wanted to do, but I don't think so. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, where I'm supposed to go, and I just keep hoping that I will get some sort of sign. Honestly, I think I've already had the sign. Like, I think it's been happening for a while, telling me that I was in the wrong place. I mean, you can't come out of your job every day and see 2 to 3 soda trucks and not think that you're supposed to be in soda in some aspect or another. So, you know, I think it's been happening. I think the sign's been there. You know, it's not, I'm not seeing beer trucks. I'm not seeing, well, I do see some, like, chip trucks and stuff, but mostly I'm seeing soda trucks. Coke, Pepsi, Sundrop, Cheerwine. I'm seeing most of those, and I think, you know, like, I think the direction's already been, you know, shown to me. I think it's already been saying, hey, look, this is where you need to go. This is what you need to do. So maybe I just need to just do the part-time job and see where that takes me, see where the road goes, and hope it will be good. And I'm definitely very grateful for the opportunity that I've been given. So, you know, because it's like you enter into kind of like a dark place and you think to yourself, what am I supposed to be doing? Where am I supposed to be going? Maybe food. I don't know that I want to cook for a bunch of people, but I definitely enjoy cooking. And I'm learning so much more about cooking. I feel like I still have like some things that I'm just not that great at. Like, my husband and I have been trying to find cheaper food options. So we've been buying the dry beans, and then you have to like soak the beans for a certain amount of time. And I need to learn how to get my beans pillowy soft. So I need to figure out where I'm going wrong, because my beans, they always end up, like, they come out good. I'm not saying they don't come out good. They come out good, but they're not pillowy soft. Oh, so that was the last of that. I can't believe that we're already done with this. and I've been rambling. But anyway, I enjoy cooking, and I enjoy messing around with flavors and stuff like that. So, anyway, let me know what you would do in my situation. Like, would you have done the same thing that I did? Would you have quit the one job, leaving, you know, yourself open to the opportunities to be able to do something in a direction that you want to do? Like I said, the job I was doing, I wasn't even, I'm gonna stand up here. Whoa, I kicked it, I'm sorry. Oh, it's so cute. Anyway, if you had that, you know, like, if you had to make that decision, especially in these times, you know, like, I struggled with it because I know that it's going to put us in a bit more of a hardship, especially with the way the economy is going and how things are looking and stuff. And here, I'll pull back a little. Oops, sorry, there's me. Anyway, I wanted more of our dragon here. There we go. There. All right. But anyway, yeah, just let me know your thoughts on it and what you think of this diamond painting. And you come out cute. It's so cute. I'm already into the 3rd row, and this is basically the halfway point of this picture. So it'll be like right here, I think, will be the halfway point of the actual image. Right? No, maybe? It's kind of like right here. From here down is the halfway point. So I'm getting really close to the halfway marker on this. And I should, by the end of this week, have another 2 rows done here. I've been keeping the plastic on this because, you know, like, these only fill up a certain section. But obviously I've gotten these 2 rows down here completed. And it's looking, I'm loving it. I love this right here, like the design on the cup. It looks so cool. I can't wait to see more of the cup as it comes up, because, you know, this next section, there we go. This next section right here is going to have some more of the cup in it. And, yeah, so anyway, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think of the diamond painting. And if you've made it this far, thanks for watching. I really appreciate having you. Hope you've enjoyed, and I see you in the next one.